Hello and welcome to SEGA News Bits Extra, where we talk about extra news bits that we didn't get into in the SEGA News Bits normal show. This episode we're going to be talking, I wanted to start the episode by talking about the new Patreon changes. I guess you could talk to them about that, Barry?
Yeah, so nothing too drastic or crazy. Basically, we've noticed that we've hit a plateau. Like, we've had about 29 people for about a month and a half, and that's great. You know, we appreciate it, but we want to see some growth, and so we feel like people on our YouTube channel, they don't know what's going on outside of us just saying at the end of the video, hey, support us on Patreon. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be releasing one extra on YouTube a month. So it's kind of like a little teaser, a little sampler for them. And then the rest of the extras for the month are going to still be for the tier that they're for, and no one else is going to see those unless they back at that tier. And, you know, we're hoping that's going to bring more people on. We're also hoping, you know, that people will be understanding that, you know, we're trying to grow the community, get more people to support the site and the videos we're doing. And, you know, moving forward, I'd like to do more Patreon exclusive things for, you know, both the $1 and above and $5 and above tiers. So, you know, like depending on the Shenmue HD, like when I get it and what the terms are, I'd like to do some Patreon exclusive things there, like a Q&A, like if people are like, hey, is it good? Is it bad? What works? What doesn't? So, yeah, I mean, anything else you want to add on that end?
No, I think you covered everything. So we could just get right into the news. The first one is SEGA ages to debut on the Nintendo Switch in August in Japan. We haven't had a Western release yet, so we could talk about that later. But the launch games will be Sonic the Hedgehog and Thunder Force 4. They're going to cost actually $8.20 USD or 925 Japanese yen. The first game, Sonic the Hedgehog, will have Spin Dash, Drop Dash, and the Mega Play arcade version of the game. Thunder Force 4 is going to have online leaderboards and Sticks mode. I think I haven't played this game in a while, but I think Sticks mode is the ship from Thunder Force 3, but you could play it in Thunder Force 4. Like, he has a cameo appearance in Thunder Force 4, but they re-released the game on Sega Saturn and then allowed you to play as him. So this is going to be added in. So what is your thoughts about the added content in these releases?
I feel like Thunder Force 4 is well worth it. I've heard a lot of grumbling online about Sonic the Hedgehog. I mean, I have no problem with them releasing that again because it's a great game. It should be on as many platforms as possible. But the price seems to be a bit high. And when you consider that on your iPhone, you can get the Taxman version for free with, you know, some ads versus $8.20 or whatever it's going to be on your Switch. I don't know.
Yeah, it does the added content, so it's not enough, you think?
I don't think it's enough. I mean, that Mega Play thing, it's cool, but I don't think the general public's going to care or even know what that is. They're just going to see Sonic the Hedgehog for, you know, $8 or whatever. And I don't even think we're going to see Sonic 3 and Knuckles. You know, we might see Sonic 2 again, but it's like, you can have... I think it would be really cool if we could have Sonic 1, 2, 3, Knuckles, and Mania all on Switch. That would be great, but it's not going to happen.
So, what would you think would be a fair price for Sonic the Hedgehog for the 1,000 billion time and Thunder Force 4?
I think Sega West, Sega of America needs to do these at $4.99.
So yeah, like $4.99, but then again, well,
$6.99.
Yeah, but like what we're gonna say next, the Sega Genesis collection to a lot of people was like 50 games for $30 and like Switch owners didn't get a port of that. So most US console gamers will just look at like the value of one release to the other, and this seems to be like a huge ripoff, right? Like on paper. I mean,
yeah, on paper, but obviously I think, you know, both you and I and some fans know that the Genesis Classics is not that great a release, but, you know, people aren't going to go, oh, well, it's M2, so I think that justifies the cost, like you said. So it's a tricky situation. I mean, on the 3DS, it was... I didn't have any complaints, but now that we're moving on to the Switch with these, it's going to be interesting to see how this goes for them.
So, do you think that it's even worth porting over the 50 Genesis Classic Collection, whatever it's called this time, over to the Nintendo Switch, or you think that just so you won't, eat the other game sales to keep it on PS4 and Xbox One?
Yeah, I think just quality-wise, it's not up to par, the Genesis Classics Collection, so I'd rather it just not get ported to Switch, and they focus on more non-Genesis titles on ages. I'd like to see more arcade games, more Master System games. I think they should wait until more come out in Japan, and then when it launches in America, either do a bunch at once, or give us something like Phantasy Star and Sonic, or something, but like put something out there that is not a Genesis title and something that, seems like a valuable game for the money. Like Phantasy Star is a long game, Sonic's not so much.
I have one more question for you. What do you think, what do you want to see added to this? A lot of people have been talking about maybe moving up to Sega Saturn. I think me and you obviously would love to have like Dreamcast games and Sega Saturn games by M2, but I don't think that's going to happen. But what would you like to see?
I'd like to see Model 2 arcade games. I'd like to see, you kind of have the twin sticks there, so like Virtuon and maybe Virtua Cop, Virtua Fighter, Virtua Fighter 2, stuff like that would be really cool.
And the next bit of news is the Shining Force Sega Saturn artist Hiroshi Kajiyama passed away. This happened a couple weeks ago. His son posted on Twitter saying that his dad passed away, which was kind of weird. Because we haven't heard from him for like a long time. Like the last time I heard that he did art was for the third Golden Sun game. So he's done those games. He did the Shining Gaiden series, the Shining Wisdom, and Shining Force 3. What did you think of his body of work, Barry?
Oh, I loved it. He didn't do the main Shining Force stuff that I think some people, that comes to their minds. But I loved his work. It's a real shame that he's gone. I assume it must have been, like some ongoing thing if he was been out of the public eye for a while. It's just a shame that just like with Greg Martin, we really know about these people once they're gone. It's unfortunate with these artists.
So, what was your favorite game he did art for? Like, mine is Shining Force 3, and I think a lot of Sega fans that are watching this will probably agree with me. That had really well done art. But what was yours?
I really liked the Golden Sun games. I thought those looked really cool. I don't know why I know them so well, because I'm not like a big Nintendo owner fan, but I think I remember seeing them when they were coming out, and they looked so cool, just visually, the art style.
It's funny because it feels like his past games on the Sega Saturn had cult followings, and then like he went and made Golden Sun, which also seems to have like a cult following. That's it for this episode of the Sega News Bits Extra. If you enjoyed this episode, I guess that's it.
Bye.
Bye.